Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy KAIO and I'm back again this time to give you another One Piece video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for One Piece chapter 1005. Within the last chapter, we got a decent chapter, but it was something that I didn't want. I felt like that could have been introduced before, but of course Oda wanted to blue ball us and he did just that. So where do I see this chapter going? Will we stay with the Straw Hats or will we actually go back to the fight? Because the way that Oda done that chapter revealing the hybrid form, but it was just a silhouette, and the way that he ended this chapter with the person who people thought was, Enel, like you can see it because of the ear, but then when you look at it, it could be Hiyori or it could even be Toki. I said it was most likely going to be one of those two, and you know what? Some people are not really disagreeing with the whole Toki fact because we never really got confirmation of her death, and yet whenever we see a body and it's actually showing that they're dead, so like Ace for example, then you can believe it. But when you know what Oda's capable of and you know what he's like, tends not really to kill characters, and we know that. But then that's what I'm saying, did Toki really die? I'm starting to think that maybe she didn't, because when you look at the hairstyles and the way that their hair is, and just recently in the episode itself, I know Hiyori and Toki have the same kind of similar hair, just Hiyori's I think is like a darker version of Toki's hair actually, from what I've seen on the episode itself, but their hair's very similar. And who else would be crying? It's like, okay, you could throw Eneru into the mix just for the memes, but what, connection does he actually have to the Akazai 9 compared to Toki and Hiyori? Hiyori does have, somewhat of a connection, but she hasn't really seen all of them in a long time. But does that necessarily mean that she wouldn't get affected by seeing them like this? No, of course she could still get affected. Yeah, like anyone could get affected if you have some sort of, like bond, which they do have. But I feel like the bond is a lot stronger with Toki because of the amount of time, that they was together because of Odin. So with Odin coming in and being the leader, and then you've got the Akazai 9 who follow him, and just everything that we've seen in like the adventures and the journey, I think it could be Toki. It really, really could, because I feel like we've seen Hiyori like enough. I don't know why Oda would want to black that one out. I feel like if anything, he's going to blacken out Toki instead, because of course we both know what they look like. But crime wise, wouldn't surprise me if it's Toki. I've just got this really, really strange feeling it could be her. So what is Oda going to do? Is he going to go back to the battle, or is he going to concentrate on this? I feel like Oda may go and stick with this, but not show anything to do with the Akazai 9. I feel like we may get the start of Robin fight. I feel like Robin is that person behind that white sheep with the eye. I think that's her, and I think she's going to get ready to throw hands with Black Maria. Of course, I thought it was going to be Usopp, because of the whole tarantula idea and what he was saying he played like the Spider Tarantula Wars, whatever it was called. So I thought he would take Black Maria on, but it seems it's more likely going to be Nico Robin. So I could see this chapter mainly being centered around Nico Robin. That's the way I could see this going. And also possibly adding Tama, Nami, Usopp, Frankie, getting the rest of like the Toby Ropo, so we can see what Sasaki's doing, because obviously he was in the middle of a battle, which was actually pretty good for what we got, and it was like very, very small. It was good. Like Frankie was getting some action, and that's good. So I'm hoping we'll get to see that from the rest of the Straw Hats. Like we might actually start getting the battles now, like the one-on-ones. You had like Ulti, who is trying to go after Nami, and Nami struck her down and even admitted that, okay, I put her down, but it's only going to be like a few seconds. I need, something more powerful. And that's where I think the connection came with Eneru, because people, like I said, with the ear and Nami talking about like, the thunder or the lightning or whatever, Eneru does have strong lightning, but I'm not saying he could probably most likely power Nami's like, her tempo and stuff. But I feel like if anything, she would get Zeus back before doing anything like that. So it does make me think, is Big Mum going to fall before Kaido? Or is there going to be some way that she's going to be able to lure, Zeus down and, be able to take Zeus back? Or will Big Mum fall? Will she fall through? Is it going to be too much where it's just going to be Luffy and Kaido up at the top, and then Big Mum falls down, and there could be a battle that ensues down there between everyone else? So you could think of many possible ways this could go with Nami, and how she could possibly obtain Zeus back again. And it's going to be, I was going to start making a bit of a pun there. It's like thunder, lightning, but I'm not going to go into that. But then going on with the rest of this chapter, I think it will be split into half. I'm hoping we get some Nico Robin stuff. I think that would be really cool. And also seeing, some battles start to happen between the rest of the Straw Hats. I think what I'd like to see is, it'd be nice to actually see the numbers like twist. You know how we had CP0 saying, well, Straw Hat and Co have got this many people, and Kaido and Big Mom have got this many people. But then the shift of how it's going to happen, how, you know, Tama's tamed them, and it could just go so easily that way that you'll see the numbers instantly switch. So you'll see Luffy's and that go up. But the thing is, if they do die, all those members, like the ones that have all switched, it doesn't really necessarily matter, because think about it this way. Of course, you'll have more bodies and everything, you know, to do what you need to do. But then when you've got people like King, Queen, you've got the Toby Ropo and everything, if they go down and they die, it's not really going to affect the Straw Hats, because at least you've got some protection there for the Straw Hats. Whereas with all these new, you know, bodies, that's what I'm just going to refer to them as, but, you know, like the Beast Pirates, they're more expendable than, obviously, the Straw Hats, because the Straw Hats are the main part of the crew, and obviously we're going to need some protection for, like, Chopper and that, you know, making this medicine for the people that have been infected with the Ice-Only Plague. So there's just so much stuff to go through. But this is where I'm going to give a bit of a twist. Now, if we're focusing on that, and we're not focusing on Toki or Hiyori, whoever that is, so we don't get any of that, but what if Oda just completely just moves that to the side and then goes back to the battle? Could that potentially happen? Yes, you can't really rule that out, because we did get the hybrid form, and it has been, you know, a chapter, a break, and now we're getting a chapter. So that's a good couple of weeks that we've got there of just blue balling from Oda, because obviously he was on break this week, well, last week. So we're finally getting a chapter, and this could be the reveal of the hybrid form and showing what it's like. But what will happen? I'm hoping Oda doesn't off-screen anything, because that would just be the biggest, like, kick in the nuts. It really would. Can you imagine that? Oda's got literally Kaido standing there, and Kid, Law, Zoro, and all that are just laying there on their backs. That would annoy a lot of people. Just show us what hybrid form can do. Like, I want to see Kaido just wreck. But I also want to see what Zoro and that can do, and, you know, to combat hybrid Kaido and whatever Big Mum's going to do. Because, as I said, she's showing off some new attacks. This could be very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous for them. Because as much as Zoro is pushing more of Enma and just, you know, releasing more power and more energy, just doing what he needs to do, being able to cut Kaido, what is he going to be able to do in the hybrid form? Is he going to be able to cut Kaido still? Probably, but then is this going to be more like defense, like he's going to be some sort of like harsh like body, like you're going to be like, you know what, you may have cut me, but I'm bringing it up, like I'm going ultimate here. Like this could go potentially crazy. And also, I don't want to see another countdown of Luffy like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's Luffy about to go into Gear 4 again, like he did against Doflamingo. In a way, I want Oda just to scrap all the countdown. Not saying he's going to, but if he does, just scrap the countdown, literally, at the end of the chapter, or maybe like 2 panels before, like, so just, you know, 2 pages, show Luffy back up. That'd be epic, because by the time that we've seen everything that's gone on, so the time that we've gone back down, that should be the 10 minutes, like, done, or near enough the 10 minutes done. So in that way, Luffy comes back in, he's hybrid Kaido, and he's like, okay, cool. And then we could, and I mean could, maybe get the reveal of Gear 5. But I don't see that happening at the end of the chapter. I see that happening maybe in a chapter or 2 chapters' time. And the reason that I'm saying that is because, will Luffy want to push to Gear 5 straight away? No, I don't think he will. I think if anything, he'll probably go back into Gear 4 and probably either go like Snake Man or back into Bounce Man, whichever one he wants to do, because we've seen Bounce Man, but we haven't seen Snake Man. So what moves has he got in Snake Man that could be a lot faster? Yet we know that Bounce Man is the more powerhouse, whereas Snake Man's the more speed over anything. And Tank Man's just Tank Man. We might even get a new Tank Man form for all we know. You know, he's going to be big. Maybe we'll get some big, ultra, gigantic Tank Man Luffy, where he's like, yeah, I'm as big and, you know, strong as you, Kaido, like this. That'd be quite funny. And I think he's going to want to show that off, because why would he feel the need to transform into Gear 5 when he hasn't even fought Kaido to that extent? Well, what I should say is Kaido hasn't pushed Luffy that far. Right? There's no need for Luffy to do this. If anything, I could see maybe the next 2... Well, how many chapters did we get? We only got like a couple of chapters where Luffy used Gear 4 and then he blew out like Visaki. So I reckon if Oda's going to go back to the battle, will we get a chapter of Luffy out of it for the majority of the part, then he gets back up near the end, and then 2 chapters after that, then we get Luffy going through Gear 4, and then Gear 5 gets announced at the end of probably like after the next 2 chapters, and he's just like, yeah, this is my new gear, you've pushed me this far, I'm going to go into it, bang, and then like we just get some all-out brawl where the majority of the fight is Luffy in Gear 5. That is something that could potentially happen. But for this chapter, do you know what? If we stay with the Straw Hats, just show us Nico Robin going in for a battle with Black Maria, and then, you know, shift over to show what Tama, Nami and Usopp and all that are doing, like to see if they're going to get their respective like own fights or whatever. And if you're not going to show this, Oda, and that you want to go back to the battle, just show us what Hybrid Kaido can do, and then if Luffy can get back up at the end, if that's where you're going to go, then that'll be sick. But you know what, they're just my predictions of what I would want to see, depending on, you know, both sides, whichever one you want to weigh up more, if you think it's going to lean more towards the Straw Hats or more towards the battle. I just want to give my perspective on both, because we don't know what Oda's going to do. Oda's just like one of those people that will just draw you in to literally reading everything that's going on. You're just about to get something amazing, and then he blue balls you and switches to the other side. So that's why with this predictions video, I wanted to give something a bit different on each side. But those are my predictions. Oda could do completely something different. He could show like half of the Straw Hats and everything and then go straight over to the battle. That could be the chapter instead, for all we know. But you know what, it's fun making these predictions, so it's nice to actually, you know, have a guess to see what he's going to do. So with that being said, guys, if you like this video, make sure you smash the video with a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What are your predictions for chapter 1005? Make sure to hit the subscribe button, because as you can see by this box, it shows that the majority of you are not subscribed. All it takes, guys, is just 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button. Helps me out, and you know, you guys can see these videos. If you're going to watch me, you might as well sub anyway. And also make sure to hit the notification bell so you guys never miss any of those videos. So until then, guys, see ya.